Were you standing next to me? Oh,
I am dead.
I saw. From where?
That is
That
not
was
me.
me.
That
That was me that you just saw die. Right there.
right in front of you.
Arena's been out for I think a month now, and I finally started playing it. The gameplay is centered around a 5v5 fast-paced shooting experience and gaining and spending currency on a different PMC operator. The main difference between this and Extraction Tarkov is matches are much shorter, you don't lose your gear when you lose the match, but instead just go into a crippling debt left to use the free hand-me-down presets. There really isn't a looting aspect to Arena, it's just a kill or be killed type game. There are two different types of game modes for now. Team Fight, which is a team deathmatch with 1 life per round and a flag to cap at the end if one team hasn't wiped another within a certain time frame. Then there's a shootout, and that's like a mini 2v2 or 3v3 tournament. I've never played a shootout game, but it's there. If you look at the game modes, there are 2 that are locked and one being a free-for-all. I play Arena pretty aggressively, and I'm not that great. I have my moments where I pop off and get some good kills, but the inconsistency of how it matches you can be a real headache. The last 2 days, I played probably 15 games and won a third of them, but played 30 the other day and had a good mix of games, even ones where I lost and still had a good time. Now, I don't want to hear get good. I would just like to play with people around my experience level. At the time of making this video, there's 5 maps which offer some sort of diversity to the gameplay. The close quarters maps are Bay 5 and Equator. Bay 5 is by far my favorite map. There is a lot of small spaces and verticality, and there's plenty of ways to get shot from an angle or to get an angle on an enemy. Equator is a little bigger with lots of cover, but isn't really meant for long range engagements. Both maps have a single objective to cap in the middle if one team hasn't won. Air Pit is a weird one because playing in the middle is a proving ground for the first round, and the team that dominates automatically gets alpha status for the next round. This is one of the maps other than Sawmill that has like an SVD and SV98, and it's stashed on each team's side. Sawmill is another map I enjoy, and it's better played with some form of medium to long range weapon. Sawmill is probably the biggest map, and the fights are spread across the entire thing, but if you manage to snag the bolt action, you can carry an assault rifle, SMG, and a sniper. Bull is a medium-sized map with plenty of cover and 2 towers on opposite corners for some good sniper spots. The preset you choose is practically you picking your playstyle. There's 4 classes, and within each class there are 2 different trees that you can progress through. How you progress is by using the previous tier gun to gain experience for the next one, and sometimes you just get stuck on a gun that's just not good for you, and those grinds feel like they take forever, but the difference once you get into those higher tier kits is drastic and immediately noticeable. I started in the scout class and used the MP5K with AP rounds, but switched to an assault, and now I'm in the Pharaoh class and I love it. I play pretty aggressively, and I do not claim to be the best, but I do have fun playing this way. I do enjoy the classes and the progression, but I do have some changes I think would be good towards the end of the video. I also have over 100 hours in Arena, and I played Extraction Tarkov for 3 years. I will suggest using something with AP rounds when you start, just in case you get put up against some thick Giga Chad and need some sort of penetration power. What separates Escape from Tarkov from other shooters is the attention to detail and mechanic-heavy gameplay. Healing is an aspect that's introduced that many people are just not ready for. There are tons of different healing items to stop heavy bleeds and light bleeds, painkillers, injectors, adrenaline, it's crazy. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and even some stuff that can increase stress resistance. This is a game where you will tremor and shake from different stressors and pain. Most people just use the meds before the round starts, but pay attention to the duration. You may not have enough time for it to actually be effective before you run into an enemy. If you aren't using them in the beginning, you're more than likely saving them or picking them up off dead corpses for when the cleanup crew of bosses and raiders come. You can hide and heal from the radiation at the end of it, and it becomes a battle of meds and who can heal more efficiently, or just plain and simple who has more meds. You can live without a stomach, legs, or arms, but if your head or chest gets blacked out, you die. There isn't a way to restore a blacked limb like you can in Extraction Tarkov by using like a surgical kit or a CMS to restore the lost limb, but it's not like that in Arena. If your legs get blacked out, you move at a snail's pace, making you an easy target even for a brand new player. You can use pain meds to negate the sounds and the pain of your PMC going through the worst thing they have ever experienced, and to stop your position from being given away from the coughs. You'll hear people saying that the learning curve of Tarkov is insane, and it is. My first experience was a little overwhelming, but at some point you get used to the moments where you feel like you're a trapped animal with an open wound forced into a corner. This is where you grow as a player, and you as a player get better at making decisions in high chaos moments. When you nearly wipe a whole enemy team, you feel amazing, and it keeps just enough dopamine in the tank to keep you wanting to play more. The sound is unlike any other FPS that I've ever played, being able to tell where someone is or if they're healing or reloading, giving you an opening for a kill. This is more than just a shooter, it requires thinking steps in advance to secure the win. Little planning goes a long way. The difference between someone walking on metal or pallets and the sound of a man wearing 150 pounds of armor plopping on the ground, and you just know you got him. After 100 hours into Arena, I have finally acquired some skill in making it a pleasant experience for myself. I started getting a grip on how to adjust my playstyle when my in-your-face way doesn't work. Being flexible with the class you've chosen is an important aspect of Arena. Knowing where you lack in certain skills and making it a mission to strengthen them will take you places you didn't know even existed. Tarkov in general is a fluid game. Getting multi-kills is one of the most satisfying things you can experience. When you come out on top or you carry your team to victory, it just fills you with a sense of purpose and pride that is well deserved. Some changes I think would help would be to add like options or tiers to the classes. The handler uses an MP5K with AP rounds with no grenades, and it's like 46,000 rubles. I would gladly pay 60,000 rubles for a level 2 vest and a grenade. Balance it out and maybe even do a budget version for when the bank is low or you're on a losing streak. I know there are free presets, but some of those just belong in a zero leak hefty bag. Looking into the future where player characters from Extraction are brought into Arena, or I hope this becomes a thing, I hope it becomes a way that you make some money to take with you back to your PMC character when you're down bad. I noticed an area in the menus that is grayed out that just says EFT, so with that I could probably say that they are in the works to intertwine the two titles. The lore states that the arena is an area within the Tarkov region where players pit themselves against one another for fame and glory. This experience with the crowd cheering when things start going off and booing when the action dies down, you feel like a gladiator in a modern day arena. If you do have the $35 to spend, I suggest giving it a go. Even if you don't have anyone to play with, join the Girthy Gang Gaming Discord and make some friends. If you want to support the channel and get a really cool shirt or a hoodie, we have the Stay Girthy hoodies for sale. They're $30, and it helps support the channel since whenever I make a Tarkov or a Palworld video, they tend to want to limit the ad revenue. So if you want to order a shirt, join the Girthy Gang Gaming Discord. You can message me there for an order. We'll get everything put up and then I'll send you an invoice. I am also live right now here on YouTube, so if you're watching the video, leave it a like, come and find me in the stream and come talk to us. We can run a couple games. I love you, mean it, bye. I will see you in the next one, and as always, remember to stay girthy, my friends.